Like, we can't get so attached to things that we think our life is over if this is gone. Like, at the end of the day, even if my Facebook page would have never came back, which would be unfortunate because I want to connect with y'all and continue to do what I do here. But to me, I had to take a step back and say, you know what? If God's allowing this to happen, then there's a reason for it. And if he allows it to be taken away, so be it. Because my success, my ability to connect with you guys, my ability to do everything that I do is not contingent on Facebook or Instagram. It's contingent on God. You know what I'm saying? And we got to always remember that when things hit us, that we think, oh my gosh, if this happens, what are we going to do? You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine, because as long as you are keeping God first, as long as you are always going back to talking to God, you are going to be fine. And sometimes things that happen on the surface that look crazy or messed up is a setup for something greater. So you got to look past the moment and just really get your peace through just praying about it and reminding yourself, God is not trying to set you up to fail. He's setting you up to succeed. Anything that comes along on that path is just a minor bump in the road. It's a lesson. It is something to gain something from, but it is temporary. In the end, you will always win with God on your side. So, all right, so let's see. Oh, I got to answer this. This one says, can two people fall in love within a month? So let me tell you guys something. I am of the believer that real love, connection happens immediately. And so, one, absolutely, two people can fall in love within a month. Number one, we have to stop constricting dating and relationships or life by our perception of time. Time is kind of a social construct to a certain extent, because, listen, in that 1 month, you may have talked to that man or woman more than some people talk to each other in a year. You guys may have dived deeper into each other in that 1 month than people do in 3 years. Like, it's not really about time. It's about diving into each other. It's about being in tune with our spirit. But take it even further. If we're talking about connection, if we're talking about the person God has for you, right? God don't need 4 months, 5 months, 2 years to tell you that this is the person for you. He already knows. And I'll go even further than that. You know, some of you may have heard this said before. It happens in the spirit before it happens in the flesh. All right. So that means if we're in tune with our spirit, we're going to know very fast. So in reality, when the love happens quickly, and again, there are some people who will say, I fell in love and it's infatuation. They're blinded by something else. But then there are many situations of real love being found very quickly, connection being felt immediately. And it's real. It's absolutely real. So yes, you can fall in love within a month, without a doubt. But again, always pray about it and make sure you're not getting caught up in the wrong thing. You got to make sure God co-signed the situation. If not, then I would take a step back. Outside of that, then I would fully embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Fully embrace it. We ain't got to wait all this years to figure out we want to be with this person. That's some nonsense that we're engaging in that's causing more problems. So let's see here. All right, men can talk to you all day, then at night go ghost. Why? All right, so first thing that popped in my head, I'm just going to always be honest. If he can talk to you all day, but he's ghost at night, it does make me think, does this man have a woman or a wife or something at home? I'm not going to lie. I never want y'all to jump to that conclusion, but that is what popped in my head. Now, if we're talking about just go ghost period, like they're not just talking to you. If we're talking about they talk to you during the day, disappear at night, pop back up during the day again, then I'm gonna be considering they have somebody that they're dealing with. If it's they're talking to you all day and then all of a sudden they're just gone, period. Well, that's because again, people can find reasons why they're no longer interested, or they may find themselves no longer interested for whatever reason. And the reality is that, especially with men, I'm gonna be honest, Like if a guy talks to you, so let me put it like this. If a guy talks to you and the conversation seems to go well, but in the conversation, he realizes this isn't going to work. She's not for me. And I don't want to waste any time here. It's not like he's going to say to himself, okay, let me call her tomorrow and say, hey, I just want to let you know I lost interest. This isn't going to work. So you won't be hearing from me anymore. Like that's not an easy conversation to have or to tell someone. So what's the easier thing to do? And I'm not saying it's healthy or it's right, but I'm saying psychologically, this is what they're processing. It's easier to just disappear. That's really all it boils down to. And so it's unfortunate, but don't internalize it because there's so many different reasons why someone could go ghost. And sometimes going ghost is like you just don't know what's going on in that person's life. And again, that doesn't make an excuse for it. I just don't want anyone internalizing it. And a lot of times, listen, it was a blessing. Thank God they went ghost. Thank God they went away because they weren't for you anyway. It was not going to work. And some of y'all would have allowed yourselves to linger in that situation and get caught up with an individual, with a man who you don't belong with. All right. So hell, thank God he went ghost and he's gone so that you didn't get caught up in the wrong situation. Let's see here. Someone said, no, she meant go ghost every day after 5 p.m. Like I said, if he's just going ghost every day after 5 p.m., I'm leaning towards he has somebody. That's what I'm leaning towards. But the right thing is to always, like, I still want to, I don't want to just jump to that. I don't want y'all to just jump to that conclusion, but realistically, I think that's a very likely scenario. Let's see here. Okay, this is a good question. What are your thoughts about a man? Damn, where'd it go? There it goes. What are your thoughts about a man being intimidated versus insecure, especially if you make more money than him? All right. So here's the thing. The intimidation, insecurity kind of go hand in hand, except the one thing I would say is that the insecurity is, it all feeds it all plays into each other. So the man who is intimidated is because he is insecure. You know what I'm saying? And if someone is insecure, they're going to be intimidated. So it kind of goes together. However, when you throw in the fact of, especially when you make more money than him. So here's the thing. Don't confuse intimidation or insecurity with not wanting to deal with how you're coming off. And what I mean by that is a lot of times, and I'm not saying it's you particularly, I don't know your situation, but there are a lot of women who will say, oh, well, men are intimidated by me because I make more money. And it's like, no, it's not your money, it's your attitude. And you don't realize the energy that you're giving off, and you don't realize how you come across. And for some, even giving this aura of superiority because you make more money. So yeah, it's not about, you may say the right things, quote unquote, but how do you make the person feel around you? And let me tell you, here's a good thing to consider. Is it just an issue you find with men? Because I've seen some women who don't realize that not only are the men, quote unquote, having an issue, even friends and family feel like this woman is stank. Like, oh, she thinks she all that because she make all this money. So clearly, this is a consistent thing, a consistent vibe you give off to people. And it ain't about your success, because we can be successful and still be humble. You know what I'm saying? We can make more money and not throw it in people's faces in a way that makes them feel like they're less than us. You know what I'm saying? So I think we have to be mindful of that and check ourselves first. Are we giving off the right energy? Now, if we are truly giving the right energy, and in your situation or the woman's situation, it has nothing to do with her energy. Some dudes are going to be insecure. Some dudes are going to make, feel some kind of way because they have not accomplished enough in their life and they need to build their confidence up. That does happen. But I would argue that more times than not, women and people are not mindful of the energy that they're giving off, the attitude that they're giving off, that's really causing the conflict more so than success and money itself. So let me look for another question. And as I'm looking for another question, again, keep letting me know what city that you're from. And if you would like a chance to be one of the 3 random winners to get the free book, comment, I want this. And then also, for those of you who are ready for better in your life, who want me as your coach, and this is a great time to be doing something like this, join my special program. You can go to receivingmyblessings.com or click the link in the comment section. I'm telling you, it's going to be one of the best things you ever did for yourself. I feel extremely confident in saying that. There's so much you're going to gain from it. And it's exactly what many of you need right now. So highly consider. And if you're on the fence about it, pray about it. Pray and ask God if the program is for you. You know what I'm saying? And if God says don't sign up, then by all means, don't sign up. All right. But if God says, hey, this is it, do it, make a move. Hey, then make a move. Make it happen, because it's going to be some great stuff waiting for you in that program. So, all right, so let's see here. All right, so I got to address this. Someone says, if it was meant to be, it would be. I'm not a fan of that quote, all right, or that belief system, because when we have this mentality of if it's meant to be, it will be, a lot of times we use that to not take any personal accountability and responsibility in our lives about the decisions that we're making and the path that we're walking. It will be what is meant to be when we follow what God wants us to do. If we are listening to God, then it will be what it needs to be. But you can't just live life reckless. You can't just do what you want. You can't just ignore the role that you play in what happens in your life and just say, oh, well, if it's meant to be, it'll be. No. There's a lot of people who never got their blessings because they did not do what they were supposed to do. There's a lot of people who are still living unhappy, not because God don't have great things for them, because they have yet to get in alignment to receive what is for them. I ain't trying to get all churchy on y'all, but I'm trying to keep it real with y'all. If faith without works is dead, you want what God has for you, you're going to have to put in some work. And that means being mindful of what we do in this life, period. You know what I'm saying? So don't just have this, what is meant to be will be, unless you're putting it as in, I'm going to do what God wants me to do, and whatever it's going to be is going to be. Cool. But if you're just having that in a general sense, I'm just going to live my life however, and whatever's going to happen is supposed to happen. Nah, don't do that. You set yourself up for failure when you do that. Let's see. All right, so someone said, how do I start dating after an 11-year toxic relationship? You start first by making sure you've healed. Like, if you have not healed from that toxic relationship, then I'm not going to tell you to go back out there dating. I need you to focus on making sure you flushed out that negative energy. And don't assume that because you've gone 11 years without dating that you're okay now. Time does not heal. Time alone does not heal. All right. There's going to be forgiveness. There's going to be getting things off your chest. There's going to be a process of changing your mindset and reopening yourself up back to love. A lot of people jump back into the dating environment still with walls up. And you're not going to find true success with operating with walls up. The same walls you have up to protect you, the same walls blocking your blessings. So if you desire to get back out there, then your first step is healing. That is what is necessary. All right. And I'm going to give you all a quick exercise. So here's a first step. And this is literally in my program. This is also in my book, Love After Heartbreak. So for those of you, you can also check out Love After Heartbreak if you want, if you're ready to heal. When you get a chance, get a piece of paper. And on the piece of paper, I want you to write down who hurt me. And then ask yourself the question, who hurt me? And now every person who comes to mind, put them down on the paper. It doesn't matter if you say, well, that happened a long time ago. It doesn't matter if you think you moved past it. It doesn't matter if you don't think it's relevant. If they come to mind when you ask yourself the question, who hurt me? They go down on a piece of paper with about 2 to 3 sentences of what they did to hurt you. This is how we're going to start the process. We're going to locate the pain. Some of y'all will be surprised who comes to mind and what comes out when you ask yourself that question. Do not hold back. Let it flow naturally. See what rises to the top. And then we got to go from there and start doing, there's several other exercises we got to do after that. But that is to get the ball rolling. So the who hurt me list is what I call it. Give it a try. Let's see here. Should I feel bad for being in love with a man who has a criminal past but has changed his ways? Absolutely not. You should not feel bad at all. Listen, you're never going to hear judgment from me on people's past because I'm fully aware that many of us, and maybe not all, but many of us, are what we used to be and who we are now is two different people. The man you see before y'all now, I'm talking about me. I wasn't always like this. You know what I'm saying? I was on a completely different path before when I was younger. People are probably shocked of who I've become. And so we can evolve, we can transform, and forget just using me. Whenever I read the Bible, I see stories of people who was once doing some nonsense, all right? Murderers, thieves, all kinds of stuff, becoming amazing people of God. Like, I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, well, his past should define him. His past doesn't define him. Your past doesn't define you. Your present does. Who are you now? Have you become who you need to be? Have you shed the old things of the past? If you have, why should any of us hold that against somebody? God don't, so I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So no, you shouldn't feel bad for being in love with him. But again, you know what I'm going to say? Pray and ask God if you should be entertaining this man, because I don't know if what you are claiming as love is genuine or if there's an attachment. So, I don't know if it's real, but if it is real, there's nothing wrong with that. And you don't have to feel bad because of his past. Let that go. Let that go. I'm talking about his past. I'm not saying necessarily him. So, all right, let's see. Is a man who's constantly wanting attention from other women insecure or confident? Insecure. So let me say this. Many of us enjoy and appreciate attention, all right? And it feels good, and it is a confidence booster. But when we are seeking it, when we become attention whores, when we feel like we always got to generate that attention, all right, that speaks to something that avoiding that individual. When you are confident, you don't have to go try to create attention all the time. You don't need it all the time. You're okay because you know who you are. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not truly strong in your confidence, in your self-esteem, in your belief of who you are, then yes, there becomes this desire to feel validated through constant attention. So it's all about, if that individual is constantly seeking it out, then that is a problem. But enjoying it, that's human nature as far as I'm concerned, for the most part. Some people don't like attention, but that's typically because it's bad attention or they've been through some bad things through that before. Let's see here. If you're with someone for 9 years and you're still not married. So, if your desire is to be married, then let me put it to y'all like this. I do not believe in these long extended relationships between people. If as long as one individual in that relationship wants marriage, then we got a problem. And it does not take 9 years to figure out if somebody wants to marry you or not. So here's my thing. Even if you think Well, he just needs more time, even though 9 years is a lot of damn time. But let's just say you think there's a valid explanation for this. Why do you have to stay in a romantic relationship, giving him the benefits of you while he tries to figure out if he wants to marry you? He had 9 years to evaluate. That's enough. That's enough. At this point, you go figure it out in your little corner. Let me go focus on me. If you decide that you want this and you want to come back and discuss it, then cool. We can talk about that. But to continue to hold on, all you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot. There's no incentive. Why would he? Chances are you've been together for 9 years. You are behaving like a wife already. So what's really going to be the push for him to marry you if you're going to remain there at his convenience? Now, I don't say this to hurt you, and I know this may hurt a little bit. I say this because I love you and I care about you and I want to tell you what the truth is. All right? You do not have to hold on staying in that romantic dynamic with someone who doesn't know if they want to marry you. Period. I can't even co-sign going past 2-3 years in most cases. It depends on the situation, but in a lot of cases, that's far too long. Like, what new is he going to learn in year 10 that he ain't learned in year 1 through 9? The information is there. He either wants it or he doesn't. So that's my honest perception or opinion on that. Let's see. So while I'm looking for another question, because there's so many coming in, again, let me know the city that you're from. If you want a chance to be one of the 3 random winners to get the free gift, comment "I want this." And if you are interested in getting one of the 25 openings I'm giving for my coaching program, click the link in the comment section or go to receivingmyblessings.com. This will make your life better. I say that with certainty. All right. As long as you do the work. Like there's a lot of modules in there. We do live Q&As twice a month. There's a private Facebook group. There's a lot of things you're going to get. There's going to be work to do when you get in there. It's not just a coaching program to make you feel good. It's to give you guidance and steps on how to heal and exude your feminine energy and all these different things. It's going to make your life better and make you happier. Because that's most important, is your happiness, your peace, your health. So we take a lot of that into consideration with this group. So again, if you are interested, click the link in the comment section or go to receivingmyblessings.com. All right, so let's see here. All right, so I like this. Why are some men attracted to women that work but don't like his woman working? So, okay, I don't know if you're talking about 2 different types of. Are you saying the same man is attracted? Oh, no, okay, let me read it again. Why are some men attracted to women that work but don't like his woman working? So, okay, is it the same guy who's attracted to women that work? So, okay, I'm going to take this 2 ways. Let's say it's a man who's attracted to women that work, and then once he gets with you, he doesn't want you working anymore. I would say, now, in some situations, in all honesty, some may be controlling, and that is a way for control. But please do not jump to that conclusion, because the other side of it is there are a lot of men who they admire the work ethic. They admire the fact that you are doing for yourself that is attractive. So I always say your ability to operate as an independent woman. Notice I said operate. I will not call you an independent woman. Don't call yourself an independent woman. That sets yourself up for failure, because your mindset now you will struggle once you get in a relationship to be interdependent if you get too stuck in the independent mindset. But you are capable of operating independently and taking care of yourself. That is attractive. That comes across as you can be an asset and not a liability. However, if he is established, if he has the means to take care of you, then He wants to give you that. He wants to provide that life for you. He may want you in a role that enhances the household more than being worried about their working and stress and all that kind of stuff. All right. And then you have men who simply, again, and that's really what it boils down to. There are men who, that's what they want. They view your ability to be a worker as an asset, as a great trait of yours. But if they can take care of you, they can take care of you. And believe it or not, there's a lot of men who would love for their woman to, like, I go walking every day, and I literally bumped into somebody who started talking to me about their relationship. And it was the same situation where the guy she married, he doesn't want her working. When he got with her, she had her business and everything, but he's like, listen, you don't have to work. He has a lot of money. He's well off. He just wants her to be at peace, be home, enjoy herself, but she wants to do more. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why, you know what I'm saying? But then I was going to say, there are some men who are drawn to women who work because they're looking for a come up, because they're looking for somebody who's going to stabilize their life and take care of them. So just be careful of who you entertaining and why he likes the fact that you work. All right. Because some of it is out of a selfish reason of wanting to see what they can get from you. Okay. So let's see here. Let's see. And by the way, if there's anyone who's ever ordered a book, joined the program, any kind of issue with anything that you've gotten from me, there is a customer service email. You can email Stephan at stephanspeaks.com. You will get a response within 24 to 48 hours. Sometimes, let me say this, sometimes some of y'all buy the book and you either put the wrong email address or you don't put an email address at all if you bought an ebook. Sometimes you might buy a paperback and again, there's missing information. And so we can't get in contact with you because there's not correct information. So all you got to do is reach out to me or reach out to us. You can either message me in the inbox and I have customer service handling that as well. Or email us, Stephan at stephanspeaks.com, and we will get everything situated. Don't ever think anything you get from me is some kind of scam, because I don't do that. I will make sure you're taken care of and you get what you ordered. Let's see here. All right, you know what? Part of me was going to skip this one, but I feel the need to respond to it. So this person says, what are your thoughts on why it is difficult for darker skinned women to find love and be considered attractive? And the reason why I want to answer this is because here's the thing. I'm not going to sit there and say that there aren't biases in this world and that complexion, whether they're like amongst some races, hair color can play a role in bias. Skin color can play a role in bias. There's all kinds of things that contribute to bias. But what I have found is when we start to internalize those things, we self-defeat. And we don't realize that our struggle is more tied to our mindset and our perception of things rather than the reality of it. So there are, in this instance, I know darker skinned women who get men left and right. Like, these women are not struggling. They have no shortage of men whatsoever. And those women never bought into the mindset or perception that they would have a struggle because of their complexion. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way there are short men. And we all know women in general aren't big on short men. But I remember one time in college, there was a dude who was short and he was racking up women left and right because he never internalized. And yes, is there a bias against short men? Absolutely. But because he did not internalize it, he remained confident in who he was. He elevated other aspects of himself. he did not struggle when it came to attracting people. So we have to understand that, yes, a lot of people have biases, all right, against them, whether they realize it or not. It's human nature. There's people always looking for ways to dismiss somebody else. But the key is, do not internalize those things. Whoever you are, you can still win. You can still be attractive. And here's the thing. The goal ain't to attract everybody. So even if a good portion of the world don't like what we as an individual present, oh, well, I ain't trying to be with everybody. I just need that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not looking to connect with. So let's not get caught up in those biases. They exist. And it's not to excuse them. It's just the reality of life. It's just the way it is. But people who don't internalize win. But when you internalize that stuff, you will defeat yourself and you will create a self-fulfilling prophecy. You will project negative outcomes because your mind's in the wrong place. So let's see here. Real quick. All right. And shout out, I see a couple people already signed up for the program. Shout out to you. I will see you. And matter of fact, we already have live Q&A tomorrow night. So if you join the program before tomorrow night, you will be able to take part in tomorrow's live Q&A, which is, it's not on social media. It's in a separate thing that we do it. All right. So again, if you want to join the program, click the link in the comment section or go to receivingmyblessings.com. All right, let's see here. All right, so somebody said, how do you feel about men approaching women on Facebook Messenger? Please tell me why it gets on my last nerve. It probably gets on your last nerve because you ain't like none of them that hit you up. Like, here's the thing. Our perception of people shooting their shot is contingent on if we're interested in ourselves. So it's like if 10 men hit you up in your messenger and none of them are your type, none of them are catch your interest, you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is so annoying, this is ridiculous. But let that good one hit you up in your messenger. You're like, thank the Lord. You're going to be happy messenger existed. You know what I'm saying? So I think you may be annoyed because the options ain't that great in there. But don't be bothered by it. It's in a general sense. I mean, listen, people are going to reach out and that it's okay. Like, we can't tell men be willing to approach a woman and then get mad at men when they shoot they shot in DMs and stuff like that. They gotta try, right? And so it is what it is. But hopefully you'll get some better options soon and you'll have a better appreciation for the slide in the DM. So let's see here. And again, I saw somebody said, what's the name of the website? The name of the website is receivingmyblessings.com. There's also a link in the comment section. You can use that or just go to receivingmyblessings.com. Let's see here. Acting like a wife before marriage. I don't agree with it. So here's the thing. To be honest with you, if it was up to me, I would do away with all boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. If it was up to me, life would be we're all friends, and when we find the one, we continue to get to know each other as friends, and then we go to marriage. That might sound crazy to some people, but I'm a firm believer that the boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic has done a lot of damage in this world, and we don't need that to find our match, to find that person who we're best with. People fall in love with their friends all the time. All the time. It doesn't require an actual romantic relationship to discover a connection. So with that said, though, the problem is that because we are doing the boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic, it's hard to find that balance of building a relationship through boyfriend and girlfriend without crossing the line of acting like a wife or a husband. it gets real blurry. You know what I'm saying? So to me, at the very least, you definitely should not be giving wife benefits when you're just getting to know a guy. When you're just quote unquote dating and in the phase and y'all not even official, keep those things to the side. Like, no, that doesn't happen there. Once you get in an official relationship, because of how the world goes about relationships, you got to determine what is going to be enough. But I would still say there's got to be levels to this. Like, to me, you know, we don't need to be given everything before there's a full commitment. And the full commitment to me is marriage. If that's not going to happen, a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot because they giving it the whole thing while you're dating a boyfriend, girlfriend. That's not the wisest approach. If you truly desire marriage in your life and you're trying to give yourself the best shot of receiving that, it's not the best approach to be giving all these wife benefits. And I say the same thing to men. I tell the same thing to men. Husband benefits while you just dating somebody. Not smart. Not the best way to go about it. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. A man who's serious about you is going to be a man who strives to be consistent in his actions. Not just strives, he just will be there. And if for some reason you don't feel like he deserves your respect, then